Hey guys, After here, welcome back. Gonna do second part of my walkthrough. Let's go ahead and just dig right in here. We're at the Crimson Isle, so we're level 3 right now.
I would have it.
Just gonna grab some quick quests.
Time with killing. It will be all the sweeter.
It's all basically the same good old stuff. Gotta kill some scarabs, and we gotta disarm some mines. Let's get to work. Go to the mines, press F. It's disarmed. Look at that. Very easy stuff. As far as the scarabs, as you can imagine. But at this point, you should have a few skills. So I have the normal relentless strike, power strike, and a kick. So I mean, they go nice down the list for you. So they'll give you an assault ability and then like a utility ability. Meanwhile, we'll collect some of these resources. Pretty cool. Go to this last mine real quick. So if you watched my previous video, I talked a little bit about the frame rate issues in some of the areas, and this area is, again, an absolutely fine area, which is, to me it's strange, because you'd think if it's an optimization issue, they wouldn't have the kind of issues like they have. I mean, it's only very, very specific and very few areas where I really just, I can play, but it's randomly 10 FPS, so it's just something really weird. Just destroying scarabs. One thing you will find about the questing in this game is the quests themselves aren't necessarily a good source of XP. It's really the killing and the journey through it that you're really going to get your meat and potatoes from. Now, you should be able to vacuum loot with the V key. So basically, throughout the game, you're going to spam V and F, which is alright. Okay. So now it's complete. We're going to want to speak to this guy. Now, the easiest thing to do is just hit C.
Report.
Blood in the Sand. Obviously, we are going to be heavy, so we're going to want to choose this.
Blood and strength.
Obviously, whichever class you pick, you're going to want to choose. Oh, I should probably put my good sword in as well. So now I have to find the Mega Shield Generator, which is easy enough to find once we get up there. There's also a settler mission up there as well.
Double kill.
So another awesome thing that we'll see here in a few minutes is there's different challenges in this game, and I think the challenges do a really good. They're really good for basically what I was just talking about, the whole XP issue, right? So instead of getting a lot of XP through quests and actually completing quests, it's more about the actually XP and killing things. Well, the challenges do a good job of making you stay in one area and kind of go on a killing spree in that area for a few minutes to really kind of help you and make sure you get along and, well, level. I've had some, creatures, I should say creatures, I have some characters that are able to get through the first two zones, I should say the first real zone, the zone we're in right now, at level 6, right? Which is me basically going straight through, doing all the quests, straight up, no PvP, no challenges. Took me maybe 45 minutes or so. Had other characters who I'm trying to, experience the game for all of its glories and everything. Takes me hours. Okay, so it's just kind of what you want to get out of it. As you saw, once I got in here, I had a nice little phone call. All you hit is 6 to C to accept the quest. And we can see in the bottom right here now I have to free soldiers as well as kill these battle bots. I can actually build some support drones. I can build one on the east side and the west side. I will summon one for myself. If I find enough resources, I'll come back and build the other one as well. So, what's cool about this little area, and one thing I do, even though I kind of gave it a little bit of crap in the last video about how they have 2 zones, the tutorial zone is extremely annoying, right? This zone, it's a legitimate zone, but it's still, it still has kind of the safety glasses or the training wheels on, if you will. It's still really, you're not in that much danger of dying. I mean, you can die, but the odds aren't very high. Also, it kind of holds your hand through everything, right? So the quest givers are very specific and very, you know, chained, as well as they only give you a couple at a time. So they do a very good job of not overwhelming you, which is pretty awesome. Now once you get into like the thick of the game, man, you find once you actually, you know, get used to the basics of the game and you're okay with everything and you're like, all right, you know, I understand how this game works, you start to get basically in awe of everything else that this game has to offer, because what you start to find out is you get those guys free by just jumping on them. What you start to kind of realize is that this game has so many extra nooks and crannies in it. It's crazy. The paths really start to open up, so you, I mean, to me, I feel like some more so than others, I feel like scientists and settlers as well as explorers really have a lot of oomph to them. I hate the soldier path personally, but I mean, the explorers get to go in waterfalls and find secret entrances, and like scientists can like open up like locked doors and stuff. I mean, it's really a cool environment, especially when you can then help your team out with those sorts of things, or they can come with you, I should say, to kind of experience the game with you. Now, as you can see, I just did a turn in there, so now I have to disable the rest of the power generators, and I'll be on my way. All the while vacuum looting. What's this button do? So I think that's what's going to be one of the biggest awesome or positive about this game, and why it's going to really truly succeed, is it has just a ton of content on launch, which is really just going to be oh yeah, look at that, which is just awesome. I mean, come on. Oh, it's just shimmering stuff. And I have a phone call. Yes, sir. Forward march. I'm on my way. So I think that's going to be the biggest positive of the game, is just the amount of content it has built into it already, and the amount of content it kind of had on release, if you will. So let's go ahead and build this one. And build this one. I don't know why the other one got. Now if we look down here, it should be completed. There you go. So we will take a look and we will go off running. But I mean, I'll tell you again from experience, you know, I've only been able to actually participate in one of the PvP battlegrounds, the Waltiki Temple, and I could do that for a year. I mean, just the combat is so intriguing, and the gameplay, and just it's just so. As soon as they add stats, it'll be perfect. Right now, like, the stats don't work. But so this little random quest, you follow this little bugger. He makes you jump really high. You go over here. Whoa! And once you get here, you can just talk to this guy. Now, if you look at the bottom bar, I have about one full bubble there. Once I turn it in, it's about a half, a little bit more. It's really not as much as you would think as it should be doing. Or as it should do, I should say. Okay. Now, once we get to the nice little area, I'm going to go ahead and pause for a minute and talk a little bit about the nut and potatoes, or I should say the meat and potatoes of this game, and the skills and the action bars and everything, to kind of show you how everything works. So, bring up your inventory menu by eye, as you've seen me do, where you can go ahead and equip or unequip things. You can press P for your character ability. Now, this is everything that you have equipped, and it also shows you in your titles, reputation, mounts. It's all self-explanatory. Also, I want to point out is it has your brutality and all your stats here. Okay, now the stats for actually every class are technically different. I mean, you know, finesse for me is strike through and critical severity, whereas for another class it might be assault power. So you always want to make sure that you're matching up what you want. So I mean, if you're just going straight up, you might just want assault power, just straight up assault power. Now at the same point, you might want critical severity or even critical hit rating. So you want some moxie and brutality, or maybe you just want finesse and moxie. You just want crit all the time for a lot of damage. I don't know. The only point here is that there's these little like levels, and as you get these levels, you get extra. So if I have 75 brutality, I get an extra plus 15 assault power. Okay, 120, another 15. 30 brutality gets me 25 strike through. I'm sorry, 30 finesse gets me 25 strike through. Okay, so that's kind of your character abilities and your stats. Now, you press B. This is where all the magic happens. So as you progress through the game, you unlock these nice little hotbars. Okay, now you can only have 8 at any given one point in time. But what you can do is you can completely customize it from your 3 paths, or I should say your 3 different trees, and then your path as well. So the assault, and that's more for these, I should say. So these are really just the 8 are for these 3. Don't want to confuse anybody out there. So your assault is always going to be basically straight up damage. So every class in the game is going to have an assault, support, utility tree. Every assault tree is going to be damaged, even if you're a medic. They do a lot of damage too. It's just different types. Support is always going to be kind of what you bring to a party. So think about it as almost of a PvE type setting. So if you're in a PvE party, what would you bring? Well, warrior, I would bring tankiness. So as you're going to see here, everything kind of generates threat, reduces taunt, whatever, taunts, threats, all that good stuff. Utility is going to be I mean, it is what it is. It's utility, right? It's going to be slightly different on each different class because you're going to have mainly snares, blinks, shouldn't say taunts, I should say snares, blinks, stuns. Some of them are going to have like shields. You might have some self heals in there. You have different things that are kind of good. You're going to have some maybe party buffs. So it's really cool how everything is a lot of mix match. So you can end up, putting buffs, or in your party, a warrior might have a defense grid, which seems to be reduces damage taken by 21% for party members, and then someone else might have another grid or another defense. So it's pretty cool. So here I have Leap, which I got level 4. So I'm going to go ahead and buy that ability for some silver. I'm going to add it to my action bar, which is down here. I want Kick, which is my stun, to be at the bottom of my heart bar, and I'm going to have Leap at 3. So now I can just hit 3 to leap. Alright, cool. If I wanted to, I could buy nothing, I guess. Level 6, I'll unlock Menacing Strike, and I'll unlock also Savage Strikes. Now, one thing I want to note that I think is a very cool factor is even though these support abilities and utility abilities may or may not use, if you're PvP minded and focused like I am, it might not seem like they're useful in PvP, and you just might want to go straight assault. Now, besides just not going straight assault because you're going to want stuns and snares and utility, some of these support things might happen. Now, I don't know specifically where you're really at with support on the warrior specifically, but I mean, some of these might have skills or techniques or effects that you really kind of want to do. So Expulsion, for instance, deal 39 technology damage to 5 foes and cleanse 2 debuffs. So it's not necessarily an offensive weapon or an offensive ability, but this might actually be useful in PvP, even though it's not really, in the assault utility, and it's more like in your tanking tree. There's still going to be stuff in here that's definitely efficient. Okay. Yes, we're gonna leave set. We're gonna go ahead and just sell this crap, and then we're also going to destroy that. I said destroy. Delete. Thank you. And get our next couple quests.
Dismantle, destroy!
So yeah, this game is just has so much playability right now that it's pretty crazy. The challenges, honestly, to me, are really a very, very smart idea. I haven't been paying much attention to them, simply because I'm more kind of focused on leveling or PvP than anything else. But I can definitely see how they're going to be extremely potent and important, because I mean, more so probably on the higher levels. Really what the challenges do, and again I will showcase this in a few minutes here for you, is you basically have a challenge to do, and you have to do it in a certain amount of time. Now if you can't do it, I should say if you finish it, you're gonna get ranked. Right now, most likely bronze, because you don't have much skills or anything to do. So once you get ranked, you basically have the ability of getting 3 different items. Now you can pick one of those items to have an increased chance of actually getting that specific item. So as you can imagine, the better the rating, the better the item.
More to do. Also, more to do.
The thing I want to point out real quick too is, if you notice, every time I get a quest reward, my item, like my specific warrior item that's heavy armor, is on the top. Once you get to the actual next zones, they don't hold your hand with that anymore either. They're just like, okay, well, here's your 4 items. If you end up picking light armor, it's on you, buddy. So you got to be a little bit diligent. So we got to get some trapped assistance and venom fangs. So let's go ahead and kill these guys. Now, as soon as I kill these guys, I should end up getting a challenge to kill spiders.
Challenge begins.
So challenge begins. So we'll see that I have 6 minutes to get to 100% of these arachnocide. Now, just like quests, it's going to give me more points if I'm killing harder mobs. Now, again, this is kind of an easier mode or easier zone, so I'm not really going to have that option.
Double kill.
But it's really cool how they do it, and I can see how you can spend a lot of time, just yourself or with friends, on kind of completing these challenges and going through them and completing them. Especially for people who like to, you know, are kind of accomplishment whores, as they say.
Double kill.
Kill all the spiders. Now the best thing you probably want to do is try this with a friend, because it does work with a friend. And you'd probably want to try to like gather them all at the same time and kill as many as you can. So one thing I want to mention is that was the queen. She drops a quest item. So Spider Queen Mandible, the Royal Maul. Go ahead and accept that bad boy, and you'll turn that in soon enough. Die. So we're only at 19%. It's not like that we've killed that many, but I mean, it's already been a minute and a half, so I mean, it's definitely doable, but I'm going to end up doing it basically right in the nick of time, and it's not going to, I'm going to get it bronze, and I'm going to feel like it wasn't worth it, and I'll be so upset about the whole thing.
Triple kill.
Triple kill. Look at that damage. Super kill, guys. Super kill. Alright, so for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and just cancel this challenge, but just know that that is there for you, and there is tons of fun to be had. And if you watched my first video, I talked about, you know, being able to level quickly in this game. It's not about quests, it's about just really killing them, so that it kind of gives you a reason to stay around an area and grind. Some people might like that, some people might not. It's probably just your personal playstyle, but let's go ahead and turn this stuff in. So I want to show you that there's a kill quest, the Royal Maul. That's where we got that nice little item from the Spider Queen. Let's look. I'm at about 4 bubbles left. Okay, 4 bubbles. I mean, the fact that I'm level 4, I feel like I should probably getting more than that. So here I have an option to get health, support power, or insight. I'm going to take that health. Health is one of the most important things right now, so now we're going to go and get some Chua explosives as I run into all these things. But it is interesting, and again, this is why I think this game is going to succeed, is because it has so many different pathways to go down that, you know, there's another challenge for you, that I have played this exact same story, but with a different class and a different path, and it took me, you know, it took me hours to get through this area, because there's just so much to do if you choose to do it. Now, if you choose not to do it, that's fine too, but you're going to be slightly under-leveled. But I mean, it's easily fixed. A little bit of P, a little bit of PvP, a little bit of grinding, you'll be fine.
Double kill.
Battle Chief. So this guy's ranked strong, so this is going to go up a little bit more than it would if it was just one of those other guys. Yeah, I went up 10% to kill him. Now there is another quest around here somewhere. There it is. This brimstone. So I'm gonna